Alright guys, here I am, and here's a toady. I'm probably disturbing the hunt, but no, I won't. Just wanna pet you. Then we'll be off. Oh, what was that? That was spooky. Oh, it was geese. Well, still pretty spooky, but oh my god, another toady! Guys, we are all toaded up this evening. No toad there, but yeah, 2 toads. That's great. So, what I want to talk about right now, what I'm thinking about is, online, like, a lot of these are I like kind of this, like, these kind of disturbing, scary, thought experiments or theories, right? There's stuff like, there's a basic stuff like Schrodinger's cat and like theory of relativity, which isn't all that scary. But yeah, here's your prank beetle. But yeah, you get But when I think about like theories, I'm thinking like scary like or just even like thought experiments. Like what if this? What if that? Right? So. I guess I have 3 of them, which I find the most, at least, interesting. If not ultra scary. So, the first one is kind of infamous. It's called the Rocco's Basilisk, which, if you don't know, is kind of a funny name. Like, what is this Rocco? Right? It was propagated by a forum user. I don't know, probably like Reddit, but essentially. It goes over it's a thought experiment that supposes someday in the distant future there will be a machine that is like that humans decide to come together and create, and it's so powerful that I guess full of vengeance, like I have no mouth, therefore I must scream. That, if you know that story with that robot, but again, it's so powerful that it gathers, it can detect anyone who knew about creating it, but did not help, right? So basically, all the kids on this group project who just did nothing and just sat by. So it'll gather up all those people and like torture them for eternity, like hell on earth sort of thing. And so essentially me telling you that story is also an example of a cognito hazard, which is basically like, just knowing this information, like is when information becomes a hazard, right? Just knowing something can make you experience something horrible, or it worsens your life, right? It's like what Floridians think if you say the word gay to a kid. So there are big holes in this theory. Like, number 1, okay, when technology gets to the point, right, where everything is super powerful, right? Like, because right now we have like our basic AI. Like we can replicate celebrity voices. We can make fake boobies, but I mean. That's going to be a long time till we can develop technology that advanced. We could just gather everyone. What is that going to be? Like 25, like 50 or something, maybe longer? So, that's probably like one big reason not to be scared of it. But I think there's an alternate point to the theory, and if it doesn't already exist, then I'm creating this alternate part of the theory, this sort of extension where this thing also has the ability to go through time. So essentially it could pluck people from like the past, bring them into the future, and show them hell on earth. So so that basically means that it doesn't matter like where you are, because you think you'd be dead in like a few, like 100,000 years, but no, it'll just go back in time, kidnap you, and raise hell. But the thing is, right? I'm not I'm still here, right? Because you just think that, like, one day, as soon as you know about the basilisk, and as soon as you make that decision not to create it, that's when it takes you. That's when it takes you to be tortured for eternity. But everyone who knows about the basilisk is still here. There has been no cases of a thing, people, like, disappearing, right? And it's like the whole, and like the only connectors that they knew about Roko's basilisk. So, I mean, that's probably like one thing that's never gonna be real, right? No one has to fear the basilisk, right? But it would be a really cool horror story, right? Like a lot of, like, I brought up I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream, right? That one's very similar, right? Allied master computer destroys human race, keeps 5 humans trapped for eternities just so he could torture them because he hates humans so much. Something like that. That would be really cool. But essentially, yeah, you don't have to fear the basilisk, guys. So let's get a little scarier. I was actually kind of up in my bed thinking about this one night, and usually I don't really get scared anymore. Right? I kind of lost almost like the ability to feel, just like, you know, that kind of primordial fear, right? When you're in bed as a kid and, I don't know, you just saw like a scary movie or a scary commercial, and you're just thinking about the scary monster in, you know, that commercial, and you're just sitting there thinking about it, and the fear just grips you. You know, I don't feel that anymore. I don't really. It was like about 13, and I just stopped experiencing it. I got, you know, less afraid, and now, you know, all I fear is like normal adult stuff, like, I don't know, losing or, you know, or failure or whatever. Like it's where you're not afraid of monsters anymore. It's only you know, the intangible concepts. So, anyways, like that. This one was an example. I mean, obviously, you see, I'm out here in the dark right now. Oh, kid me would shit his britches, but. Is that another tick? No. But this theory, right? It's called it's in relation to the Fermi paradox. It's, if you don't know, it's basically just a big question, like, where are it's saying that, like, where are the aliens? Where are they, right? If, you know, there's supposedly like an infinite universe, there should be infinite life. So where the hell are they? Well, this answers it, and it's called dark forest theory, right? There's many answers to the Fermi paradox. Some are like generic as, oh. What the hell? That gave me the creeps. A bit more than dark forest theory. So, anyways, speaking of that, it's basically, right, dark forest theory, speak of the devil, it posits that, right, the reason that we don't have any life is that everyone else in the universe knows to keep quiet, because there is something bigger out there in the universe that they don't want to attract. And right, because everyone else is older than us. We're like little fledglings, right? We're calling out into the dark forest in search of someone else out there, but we don't know that. Well, we don't know to keep quiet because, oh, look at that. I found a snake, a snake. Well, nope, not a snake. Oh, damn it, a night crawler. Yeah, that's what they call them, night crawlers. Like, I find snakes smaller than these guys. It's crazy how big night crawlers get. And they're so slimy. I do love picking them up and just squishing them. Worms are always good, you know, except leeches. I mean, I kind of like leeches, but that's because they're not as pervasive as ticks or mosquitoes. But, you know, it's always good to hold a worm. They're slimy and fun. But, anyway, about dark forest theory, right? Everyone else in the universe knows to keep quiet. All intelligent life knows to keep quiet because there's something bigger and something more dangerous out there that will do something horrible if they find you. And of course, us as humans, like, think about how many probes we've sent out into the vastness of space, right? Think of you know what's. Just think of it. If dark forest theory was real, we are screwed. Eventually, that big cosmic evil, right, that everyone else is hiding from, is gonna find us. It's gonna find our Voyager 1s, our Voyager 2s, right? And we are screwed. And I don't know why specifically that theory just kept me up. I think it's just like theory, like the whole phrase that like there's something out there that really gets under my skin. Just that one single phrase just brings me back. It's almost like a nostalgic fear when I was, just lying awake in bed because I just had the scariest thought that your little brain could ever hemorrhage, and this is like the adult version of that, right? Where, who knows, maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't. Hopefully, like, the best case, the most probably, it's probably just everything's microbial. Maybe on Mars, there's water, or even Venus, there's water, but, it's probably all dead now. Oh, look at that. I think that is a queen ant. And she hasn't lost her wings yet, and that is a cricket. But nothing too cool, unless you think queen ants and crickets are cool. But anyways, I think that just... I'm surprised that I'm still able to be out here while fretting about a theory, freaking thought theory, just an answer to a paradox that could or could not be real, right? But anyways, the final theory, which is it's related to quantum mechanics. It's gotten a lot. This actually, depending on how you look at it, it could be the scariest one of all, right? Actually, I think, like, supposedly, this internet story. It's on Reddit, of course. Everything's on. All forsaken things are on Reddit, but of supposedly this a Reddit user was so distraught about learning about this theory that they kind of slid down the sewer slide, if you get what I'm saying. And that is quantum immortality, right? It's also one of the most confusing things ever. But personally, I think that I've got a grip on it. God, these mosquitoes. Mosquitoes are more dangerous than quantum immortality. So, in essence, it's basically saying that let's just put here. Let's push you in a room, right? There's a button that if you press it, there's gonna be a bomb that goes off in your head, and you'll just die immediately. And so, you're in this room and you press the button, nothing happens, right? It's a 50-50% chance, and you passed, you passed it. You got, you won. And then you press it again, nothing happens. Then again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Yet still, you don't die. And that kind of explains, right, the quantum immortality. Ooh, that was a stump. Not quantum immortality. Which basically states that your conscience, I guess, will always exist in the timeline where you are alive, right? As long as your conscience is going, that's like the universe where you, almost like essentially it'll split off, right? You will only be able to perceive the universe in which you live forever. So, that was a bat. There's actually a bat up there, which I named, I think it was Boris. And they're so quiet, he just left. So, yeah, anyway, about quantum immortality. So, yeah, essentially it's kind of confusing, but I think, personally, it kind of, sort of, another big queen ant, but I think it sort of validates, I heard a meow, where is it? Buster! Hey, Buster! There he is! Trying to have it focus on, there's a black cat in there, named Buster. But, yeah. What I'm saying, this theory kind of reiterates, like, a main character syndrome, right? So essentially that, for example, I am the main character of my universe, right? If if you can see, trying to see Buster right here. But I don't want to let him out. If the door's closed, you don't let Buster out. But there he is. Hi, Buster. I know you want to go back outside. Hi. But, what I'm saying, I can't talk about quantum immortality for 1 minute, but I'm saying that, it reinforces main character syndrome, because, your consciousness, right? You know, you're the only you that exists. And, there's a lot of frogs on these windows, but you're the only you that exists. You're the only, everyone around you is going to, everyone else is going to die, but you are the immortal one in this timeline. So, if you really think about it, right? Everyone else dies. Everyone knows death, right? But also everyone knows that death comes to everyone. Well, death will come to everyone except you. Death will come to everyone, including this tree frog. Because there was a tree frog here yesternight. And we will continue to live forever. But we see the process of death through everyone else. We see aging. We see, suffering and all this other horrible stuff that comes with the eventual slow process of death, right? So back to the whole, button thing, right? Now, let's say you're in a hospital bed, right? You're old, decrepit, and dying. Now, let's say that every second, that passes, you'll die from old age. And that kind of represents a moth. Not a moth, but a button push. Now, let's just look at this spider. If I can focus, So, right, you're decrepit and old. Every single button press represents a moment that like a 50% chance that you are going to die. Right? Because old age is slowly coming after you, but what happens is it never comes, right? Every second, right, you see the dying process. You know that eventually it's like, oh, granddad's gonna go any day now, but he never does, right? And the granddad that somehow stays alive forever is you, and you're just stuck on that hospital bed. But you're conscious every possible outcome where you end up surviving, right? That's the one where you continue to exist. So, I mean, if you think about the term, live while you're young, enjoy life while you can, right? I suppose everyone does go to hell in the end, right? Not in, the sort of Judeo-Christian one, or another tree frog. Or, if quantum immortality was supposed to be, the truth, then we all spend all the rest of our lives, just decaying in hospital beds. But no one will ever, know, right? Because we'll all be in different universes, right? Because everyone else will die. But I'm going to stay here forever, right? My parents, my family, my friends, my everyone, they're going to go. But, since I'm the main character of this universe, I don't go. And, right? And no one else, right? Because it's my universe, my timeline. It's a timeline where I survive, right? I could see the world flash by. I could see, I could see when we contact aliens. I could see when we, when the basilisk is built. But I will never see death. And for most of my life, for most of infinity, which is a long time, right? I'm going to be perched or saddled inside saddled to the back of a hospital, unless there's some superior technology which allows me to get uploaded to the Matrix. You know, my consciousness is going to be alive within a corpse, and isn't that hell? Isn't that a hell in it of itself? And truly, the most terrifying, unwhimsical thought anyone could come up with. Quantum immortality. Ooh. I think there's probably like a, I don't know, like a wavy web surf or like Mudahar video that talks about like that specific Reddit user who took his own life because he was so concerned over quantum immortality. But I mean, hopefully there's a universe where he didn't do it, right? Probably is. It's a 50-50 coin flip. You know, he's the main character of his own universe. Probably a scenario where he, you know, had the sense not to do it. But it's my universe, so fortunately, all the things that come to people, you know, like death, will eventually happen. So, unfortunately, yeah. I know, such a somber ending. At least we found 2 tree frogs and 2 toads, which I think is a good yield. But the toads back there, right, I actually have a theory about why the toads leave. Right, they're kind of like, you know, like vagrants, sort of. You know, they don't stay in one place. They might hunker down in, you know, a little crevice or a dirt pile, but they'll eventually leave. I think it's because they do it when they poop. Which, honest, yeah, that makes sense. You've seen those Mondo Dookies, right? You've seen how nasty they get. You've seen how big they are. Right? If taking a crap was as bad as you know, having a kid, and it probably smelled as bad, right? You're not actually creating a kid, right? You're laying a dookie. I'd probably, you know, up and leave that horrible thing. Speaking of, I don't know if this toad, I think this toad peed. It looks kind of deflated. I mean, that could be with air, or deflated with air, but so I think that's why those toads left, right? And eventually, over there in that little toad spot, those toads are probably gonna leave when one of them poops too. So, you know, you can't. Toads don't last forever. Yeah, your consciousness does, but you know, toads don't. They'll eventually, you know, hit the town, decide to move. So, that was a lovely talk. Lovely. So give me your favorite scary theory or thought experiment or esoteric nonsense in the comments, and I'll probably mention it sometime soon. So, all right. Say bye to the toad.